Hi guys. I guess Hope says hi to the vlog. We're just gonna do some ground work today and see how she does because it's pretty windy. So let's get started. Come on. Well, hello guys, and welcome to another voiceover vlog. That day was the day before I left town. My time was pretty limited with Hope, and since we did ride 3 days in a row, I figured today was a perfect day for me to do some groundwork with her, and mostly, to lunge her and, make her go at walk, trot, and canter with her not exploding. So I started walking her. She was good, get her on a bigger small circle, and then I just let her go. So Saturdays are very busy at the barn because there's a bunch of lessons going on, a lot of people outside of the round pen. That day was very windy, so she was a bit distracted, but she honestly overall did pretty good. She was very responsive to voice command. Here she just picked up the trot because she wanted to. So here what I'm doing, it's like I'm bringing her into a small circle and I'm telling her whoa. So she associate that motion with the voice that she needs to do a downward transition, and she did really good. And I mean, look at her head is down, except when she hears a noise like right there. She is so different than when I first started working with her and when I had her. It's just so nice to see her, just more relaxed and, carrying less tension, being less freaked out of like, we're in the round pen, what the hell is going to happen? Here, same thing. I wanted her to halt. She usually does pretty good, but same thing. I just brought her back towards me and reducing my circle. This is something I actually learned on the app Ridley, I believe that's the name of it. It's an amazing app with a bunch of different trainer, and I focused on the one for off the track. So this little technique I learned from the app, and honestly it works really, really well. So I was super, super happy with it. So I usually let her walk for a little bit because I want her to warm up. I did a 15-minute session with it. It's actually really good, especially when you're working in the round pen. At some point they get distracted, they're not focused anymore. Going around in circle is not good for them either. So I'm gonna make it short and sweet and make sure that we are able to work on the 3 gates. For this video, I'm also using my pivot. The pivot usually does really good when there's nothing else besides the horse. So I was pretty happy with like the tracking motion. Here she decided to stop, and I guess there was like a piece of grass, and I'm like, hey sis, no, we're here to work, not to snack. So same thing, I'm sending her out. For those wondering, my lead rope is a 20 feet lead rope. I have tried a 25, and 25 was actually pretty good. I wish they would make some in between, like 22 and a half, because sometimes the 20 lead rope, for me the 20 feet can be a little bit short. So here I was just trying to bring her back sometime when she was looking on the outside, making sure I could see her eyes. Here I asked her for the trot, clocked and asked her for it, and she was super, super responsive. The goal was for her to do a lot of different transitions, so a little bit of trot, going back to the walk, trotting again, changing direction. Here I'm asking her to go back to walk, and look at that. I barely starting to bring her back in, and she gave me a beautiful downward transition. She wasn't tense, she was actually pretty relaxed. Let her walk for a little bit, and same thing again. So it really keeps her mind focused, her attention on me, like, hey, what is she going to ask me next? So first and foremost, the beginning of the session was really good with Hope. She's really young. She actually just turned 5 on March 2nd. So she has a very young brain. She is not restarted. So all the restarting I am doing myself. It's been a challenge, but so rewarding because I've seen a lot of progress with her. Here we're changing direction. She has a tendency to crowd me a little bit, so we need to work on that, I know. And we're going to the right rein this time, but I mean, look at her head. She used to be such a giraffe even in the round pen, and for me to see her relax it's a big win. you know. Here I'm asking her to trot again. Again, she's, it's windy, a lot of people distracted, but overall doing pretty good. Here she thought I asked her to stop, which was hilarious. Going in circle makes me really dizzy, so sometimes I just have, to be inventive. And in this session, I actually asked her to canter on both lead, and I honestly, guys, did not know what to expect because the few times I've asked her to canter, she had canters where, she did an okay transition, but most of the time she was like just exploding, like going into bucking mode, like just totally freaking out, lack of balance, going in circle, especially on the right rein. It was very difficult, and this time I was just shocked because I'm like, I don't know what's going to happen. I need to be ready. Like if she starts bucking, I'm just going to, let her do it so she can get it out of her system, and when she stopped, changing direction. But you will see she actually did, pretty good.
Always pay attention to her head because her head's going to tell me what she's got to do next. Walk slow and walk. Girl, look at you.
And you see, just right there, I just told her and walk slow, and she did really good. I did not have to bring her into a smaller circle with my lead rope. She, right after picked up the trot, but came back to me really fast. And here, same thing. So I'm like, okay, this time I'm gonna bring it back and we are going to change direction. Sometime when we change direction, she gets very excited and just wants to go and just start trotting. Other occasions she wants to go and like kind of bolt, but she was doing really good. She was very responsive. I know her head is on the outside because, again, very distracted. I do pull her back in so I can have like two eyes on me so she can pay attention. But here again, we did like a little walk to trot transition. I think I just told her trot and she went into a trot, and look at her, she's very relaxed. Her trot is not frantic at all. At some point she was stiff, but she started to soften up, which was really, really nice to see. She has made, tremendous progress. Same thing again here. I'm bringing her back a little bit because she did not want it to go back to a trot, but her transition, her downward transition was actually really good. I really feel like, the groundwork that I've been doing with her, lunging her, teaching her like voice command and all that stuff is, everything is coming together, and she remembers the stuff that we've been working on, which is really, really nice. So here, a trot is getting faster because I'm actually trying to ask her for the canter. So I am swinging my lead rope, downward, and I'm kissing and telling her to canter. So that was the first canter of the session, and she was having a little bit of a hard time. I should have reset, but then she picked it up, and look at that. She did not have a freak out moment. She only did one lap, but I was very, very happy.
Go both ways or just one way?
No, I've been going both ways. I made her canter one this way. I'm going to make a canter on the other way.
You got a watch on, make no more than 15 minutes.
What's up?
I said if you have a watch on, make sure you only do it about 15 minutes. 7 on one side, 7 on the other.
So in the background, you have my friend Mike, kind of making fun because he's like, oh my God, you're actually working her in the round pen. And I told him, I was like, Yes, I actually do a lot of groundwork with her. Here, I just wanted to let her walk a little bit more on that range. She wanted to pick up the canter. Was using voice command like and walk, so she didn't listen. Obviously, I brought her back into a smaller circle. And then we were about to change direction, and same thing, do a little bit of, walk trot. And I wanted to ask her also for the canter on the right lead. I always start with her stronger side because I know it's easier for her. Here, sometime you see she was crowding my space, and sometime when I have to pull her a little bit to change direction, she freaks out. But she did really good. Her neck is dropping. She was blowing a lot, taking deep breath. We had some licking and chewing, not at the moment, but we did during the session, which was really nice because it shows that she was relaxing. Here we picked up the trot on the right rein, making sure she had a good rhythm, that she was focused before asking her for the canter. And I was really surprised because when I did ask her for the canter here, I just kissed and she just went right into the canter, did not lose her marble. She did less than a lap, and I asked her again because I wanted her to canter for a little bit more, and she did really good. She was just having a hard time, I guess, balancing, though she did not pick up speed. But I was very, very happy with it. We were almost at the 15-minute mark already into our session, and I had to go. But she did really good. We only canter those 2 times, which I think was great. You don't have to do it over and over again. I felt honestly that our session was really good, that she did really good transitioning from walk to trot, trot to walk, and then trot to canter, and then going back to a trot and being very calm. And I stopped her and I call it a day. We did some stretching. It was like 1 or 2 times, but look at her licking and chewing, being super relaxed. I feel like our bond is really growing the more time we spend together, whether it's on the ground or in the saddle. She is coming along so nicely. I mean, look at her face. She is just so cute. I love her so much. I was really proud, and I was just happy to end it here on a really good note. She did everything I asked of her during this lunging session, and I was like, okay, you're good. You're gonna have a week off because I am out of town, and that was that. So here, I just wanted to make her move her shoulders. So what you're going to see, you're going to be like, no, this is not the way to move the shoulder. I know, we've been working on that. The goal and the reason why I was doing it the way I'm about to show you guys is just because I want her to be used of feeling the pressure at the girth when I want to move her shoulder under saddle. So we did some dropping of the head. Here I'm doing rhythmic pressure just to make her back up, just to see where we're at. So I'm bringing her in just because sometimes I have to do one rein stop. Here she had trouble just softening, but she did really good. So I just grab her by the halter very nicely, put my hand on her wither, and we did that just once on both sides, just to see how flexible she was. On the right side again, which usually her stiffer side, she did really good. She's like, oh, okay, she just wants me to flex my neck. So here, that's what I'm talking about. I am pushing her with the lead rope, but also putting my fist by the girth area. We've been doing the groundwork, moving the hind, moving the front. She's doing really good. We don't do that like that usually, but this was purposeful. So, equestrian police, please save your comment for yourself, okay? Here, same thing. She's been doing really good at responding to my legs, especially when we're turning and we've been doing some bending exercise. But it was just, I had a few minutes to spare, and I was like, okay, it's just for me a way to reinforce, hey, what you're going to be feeling here under saddle, it means you have to move your booty. So she did okay. I didn't spend too much time on this because, again, I was pretty limited on my time. But I was happy. I was like, okay, we just ended like that, and you can go back in and finish your food. Look at her. She's like, Mom, my friends are outside. And then she's looking at me like, am I able to go back in? Can I go and play, please? But that's it for our little lunging video. It was very successful. Hope was so good today. We had a really good lunging session. I worked for like 15 minutes, which was plenty of time. We just worked on like voice command and her transition from walk to trot, trot to walk, and then do some walk to canter transition. She was really good. She didn't explode once. She was very responsive to voice command, to body language. I was really proud of her. She's coming along really nicely. It was too windy for me to ride, and I rode her like 3 days in a row, and I didn't have enough time, so I just put my time to good use. So yeah, so really good session, super happy with it. I'm not gonna see her for a week because I'm leaving town tomorrow, but very happy with it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and we will see you next time. Bye.